Beyond the lightning-fast kicks and iconic nunchuck skills, what was the true secret to Bruce Lee's unparalleled success? Uncover the profound philosophy that shaped his life and teachings, and discover how his wisdom can revolutionize your own path to greatness. Bruce Lee is often remembered as the iconic martial artist, the explosive fighter who transformed kung fu cinema and inspired millions with his unmatched skill and charisma. But beyond the fierce punches and lightning-fast kicks, lies a profound philosophy, one that transcends fighting, transcends martial arts, and speaks directly to how we live, grow, and face challenges in everyday life. This philosophy is rarely understood fully by those who only know Bruce Lee through his movies or public persona. To truly grasp Bruce Lee's wisdom, we have to dive deeper, beyond the fight, into his ideas on life, self-expression, adaptability, and the power of the mind. Bruce Lee once said, "To me, the ultimate goal of martial arts is not victory or defeat, but the perfection of the human being." This simple yet profound statement reveals the core of his beliefs. Martial arts was a vehicle, a means to develop himself as a whole person. He wasn't chasing trophies or fame. He was on a journey of self-discovery and mastery. At the heart of Bruce Lee's philosophy is the concept of Jeet Kune Do, or the way of the intercepting fist. But Jeet Kune Do is not just a fighting style, it's a way of thinking. Bruce emphasized the importance of fluidity, flexibility, and the rejection of rigid systems. He famously said, "Be like water. Water adapts to any container, flows around obstacles, and yet can be powerful enough to carve through rock." This metaphor illustrates Bruce's core principle: adaptability is key not only in combat but in life. Life throws countless challenges, changes, and obstacles our way. Sticking rigidly to one approach, one belief, or one way of doing things can limit our growth and lead to frustration. Instead, being open, flexible, and willing to change like water enables us to survive and thrive. Bruce Lee's emphasis on self-expression is another cornerstone. He believed martial arts should be an expression of the individual, not a strict imitation of tradition or style. Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own, he instructed. This radical idea was revolutionary because it challenged the martial arts world's obsession with lineage and formality. Applying this to life, Bruce's message is to find your own path, embrace your uniqueness, and not be confined by society's expectations or dogma. Self-expression is about authenticity, living and acting true to yourself rather than imitating others blindly. Bruce Lee also focused heavily on the mind and spirit. He viewed the physical body and martial techniques as only one piece of the puzzle. The mind's training, clarity, and focus were paramount. His writings reveal a deep interest in philosophy, psychology, and Eastern wisdom traditions like Taoism and Zen Buddhism. He practiced meditation and mindfulness long before these became popular in the West. One of Bruce's guiding ideas was that limits exist mostly in the mind. If you always put limits on everything you do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life, he warned. By breaking mental barriers, questioning assumptions, and pushing beyond fear, we can unlock true potential. Bruce Lee's fight philosophy was also about efficiency and simplicity. He stripped away unnecessary movements, styles, and techniques to focus on what worked in real situations. This practicality extended to life as well. Complexity, clutter, and distractions often slow us down. Bruce encouraged minimalism and clarity, cutting through noise to focus on what matters most. His famous quote, "Using no way as way, having no limitation as limitation," encapsulates this ethos perfectly. It means not being boxed into any system, rule, or mindset but embracing freedom through discipline. Another important aspect of Bruce's philosophy is the concept of constant learning and growth. He never considered himself a master. Instead, he was a perpetual student, always curious, experimenting, and evolving. "Knowledge will give you power, but character respect," he said. For Bruce, growth wasn't just technical skill but moral and spiritual development. This lifelong learning attitude applies universally. Whether in careers, relationships, or personal development, embracing humility and the willingness to learn fuels progress and resilience. Bruce Lee's philosophy also challenges fear and encourages courage. He viewed fear as a limiting factor that stops people from pursuing their dreams or reaching their potential. In his famous "Be Like Water" interview, he said fear creates hesitation and paralysis, but by facing it head-on, we gain strength and clarity. He taught that courage is not the absence of fear but acting despite it. This mindset empowers us to take risks, embrace failure as feedback, and persist in adversity. Bruce Lee's ideas also embrace the interconnectedness of body, mind, and spirit. He rejected the idea of treating the body like a machine or the mind like a separate entity. Instead, he promoted holistic health and balance. Proper nutrition, physical fitness, mental clarity, and emotional calm are all essential. He famously said, "The great mistake is to anticipate the outcome of the engagement. You ought not to be thinking of whether it ends in victory or defeat. Let nature take its course, and your tools will strike at the right moment." This acceptance of uncertainty and flow highlights Bruce's Taoist influences, living in harmony with the moment rather than controlling everything. Beyond his personal philosophy, Bruce Lee's life embodied these principles. Despite facing racism, cultural barriers, and initial rejection in Hollywood, he persisted, adapted, and ultimately broke through as a global icon. His resilience, innovation, and authenticity reshaped martial arts, cinema, and global culture. His death at the young age of 32 only added to his legend, but his ideas continue to inspire millions worldwide to live boldly, authentically, and without fear. In essence, Bruce Lee's philosophy beyond the fight is a roadmap for life itself. It's about mastery of self, constant growth, embracing change, and living with purpose and authenticity. To summarize some of the key takeaways from Bruce Lee's philosophy beyond martial arts: be fluid and adaptable like water in all aspects of life. Embrace self-expression and authenticity, create your own path. Train the mind and spirit as much as the body. Reject limitations imposed by society or yourself. Focus on simplicity, clarity, and efficiency. Pursue lifelong learning with humility. Face fear courageously and persist despite obstacles. Live in harmony with the present moment, not clinging to control. These principles transcend time, culture, and discipline. Whether you are an artist, athlete, entrepreneur, or simply a person trying to navigate life's complexities, Bruce Lee's wisdom offers valuable guidance. As you dive deeper into his writings, interviews, and legacy, you'll find a rich tapestry of insights that challenge convention and encourage empowerment. His philosophy urges us to look inward, break boundaries, and cultivate the best version of ourselves. In a world that often values rigidity, conformity, and external success, Bruce Lee's message reminds us that true power comes from flexibility, courage, and authenticity. And that is the lasting legacy of Bruce Lee, not just a legendary fighter but a philosopher whose ideas continue to ripple far beyond the arena of combat. Bruce Lee's philosophy is rooted deeply in the idea of freedom. Not just physical freedom in fighting, but mental and spiritual freedom. He believed that most people live their lives trapped by conventions, fears, and self-imposed limits. His teachings challenge us to break free from these chains by embracing fluidity, individuality, and self-awareness. One of the remarkable aspects of Bruce Lee's approach is how he synthesized Eastern and Western philosophies into a coherent whole. Growing up in Hong Kong but spending significant time in the United States, Bruce was exposed to diverse ideas. He studied Taoism, Zen Buddhism, and Confucianism, while also absorbing Western psychology, philosophy, and physical sciences. This fusion shaped his unique perspective. Taoism, especially, influenced Bruce's worldview. The Tao, or the Way, emphasizes living harmoniously with nature, embracing change, and flowing with life rather than resisting it. Bruce applied this directly to martial arts and life. His "be like water" philosophy is essentially Taoist wisdom repackaged for a modern audience. Water is soft yet powerful, adaptable yet relentless. It can fill any space but also carve mountains over time. By being like water, we can overcome obstacles not by brute force, but by intelligent flexibility. This Taoist principle also teaches non-attachment to rigid forms or ideas. Bruce rejected the idea of styles as fixed systems. He saw them as limitations that restrict creativity and growth. Instead, he encouraged practitioners to absorb what works, discard what doesn't, and create their own authentic expressions. This was revolutionary in a martial arts world that prized tradition and lineage. This idea parallels modern thinking about creativity and innovation. Breakthroughs happen when we step outside rigid systems and experiment freely. Bruce's philosophy encourages us to question assumptions and adapt constantly. It's a call to embrace change as a necessary and positive force. Another key component of Bruce Lee's philosophy is the cultivation of no mind or mushin, a Zen concept meaning a mind free from distraction, attachment, and fear. When your mind is clear and present, your reactions become natural and spontaneous. This state of flow allows you to respond to challenges intuitively, without hesitation or overthinking. Bruce trained himself rigorously to achieve this state, both physically and mentally. His fast reflexes and fluid movements weren't just products of physical training but of mental discipline. In interviews, he spoke about the importance of meditation and mindfulness in achieving clarity and focus. He believed that mastering the mind was the ultimate key to mastering any art or craft. This teaching resonates beyond martial arts into everyday life. In high-pressure situations, whether in sports, work, or relationships, our ability to stay calm, focused, and adaptive often determines success. Bruce's lessons inspire us to train our minds just as seriously as we train our bodies. Bruce Lee was also an advocate of balance, not only physical balance but balance in life. He stressed the importance of harmonizing the physical, mental, and spiritual. He practiced intense physical training, but also studied philosophy and meditation. He believed neglecting any aspect leads to an incomplete life. This holistic approach counters the common modern tendency to specialize narrowly or sacrifice health and well-being for external achievements. Bruce's life reminds us that true mastery and happiness require integrated development. His writings also emphasize humility and respect. Despite his legendary status, Bruce remained humble about his knowledge and abilities. He often described himself as a lifelong student, never a master. This humility fueled his relentless curiosity and growth mindset. In a culture that sometimes glorifies ego and competition, Bruce's example offers a powerful counterpoint. He showed that true strength comes not from arrogance but from openness and respect for others and oneself. Fear is a theme Bruce Lee explored deeply. He described fear as one of the greatest barriers to growth and success. Fear creates hesitation, doubt, and limitation. Overcoming fear means embracing discomfort and uncertainty. Bruce taught that courage isn't the absence of fear but action despite fear. His famous quote, "If you always put limits on what you can do, physical or anything else, it will spread into your work and into your life," encourages us to break mental boundaries. Fear often convinces us to stay in our comfort zones, but growth happens when we dare to step beyond. Bruce's life exemplified this courage. He faced racism, cultural barriers, and skepticism as an Asian martial artist trying to break into Hollywood. Rather than retreat, he innovated, persevered, and ultimately changed the industry forever. His example inspires countless others to challenge limitations imposed by society or themselves. Another important idea Bruce Lee shared is the concept of simplicity. In martial arts, he stripped away complex forms and unnecessary movements to focus on what works. He believed simplicity leads to efficiency and clarity. This principle applies broadly. Life can be complicated by distractions, unnecessary commitments, or overthinking. Bruce's philosophy urges us to cut through the noise and focus on essentials. By simplifying, we gain clarity, energy, and power. Bruce also emphasized the importance of self-knowledge. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do, he said. Self-awareness combined with action is the path to mastery. He encouraged people to explore their strengths, weaknesses, and desires honestly. This self-exploration enables tailored growth and authentic self-expression rather than following prescribed paths blindly. Bruce Lee's approach to martial arts was experimental and deeply personal. He studied many fighting styles but never confined himself to one. He trained in boxing, fencing, Wing Chun, and more. From each, he extracted what was useful and integrated it into his own style, Jeet Kune Do. This mindset, of cross-training, openness, and innovation, was ahead of its time and now widely adopted in mixed martial arts and other fields. Bruce's example teaches us that knowledge and skills from diverse areas can combine to create something uniquely powerful. He also believed in the power of the present moment. "Don't get set into one form, adapt it, and build your own," he said. This quote reflects a commitment to living dynamically, not stuck in habits or expectations. By living fully in the present, Bruce believed we unlock creativity, spontaneity, and genuine connection. This awareness applies both in fighting and daily living. When we stop worrying about the past or future, we become fully engaged and capable.